going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today is the return of Shin Megami Tensei 5, a game I'm currently playing right meow. I do not have song titles for these, so it's going to be totally blind. I just know it's from... Actually, I'm assuming they're from the base game, not from Vengeance, which is what I'm playing right now. So I'm excited. These are requested by Raidou, DJSingleTone, and Matthew. Thank you so much. Let's get into some more SMT5, which is quite a game. Quite a game. First song starting now. Don't know what it's called. Ooh. A rare, non-percussive build-up. Oh man. There's very few songs like this in this game. This sort of melodic structure. This hook. This sounds like Persona to me. I know it sounds kind of silly, but this sounds like Persona to me. Not anymore. Ooh. Dude, they really reserved some of the best music for the end of the game. Love that. I love the guitar just chugging. Same note. Whoa, dude. That is rare as hell. This is extremely rare. I think this might even be the first guitar solo I hear in SMT ever. Despite it even being single notes. Oh my god. Harmonies? Still hear the melody in the back. This is sick, dude. Wow, what a standout. Wow, there's so many elements that are foreign in the rest of the soundtrack here. These softer elements. Six minutes, so I'm guessing it's gonna loop a bit, but damn. Oh, I love that single hi-hat. Get to the... Oh, it's so cool. Damn, dude, this is sick. That's stuck in my head already. This is what makes this game so special to me. All the genres. People that don't usually like beats can appreciate it. People that usually don't like rock and metal can appreciate it. It's just this fine line of music beauty as this guitar solo soars through the airwaves. Wow. If for some reason you've never seen one of these videos before, and this is your first time hearing SMT music, it never sounds like this to me. Not that I've heard. Not in 5. It almost seems like they could go out of their way to not include electric guitars. So this is special. That actually makes it way more special. Even as a guitar player, the lack of guitar is amazing. I'll explain later. We still have another song after this. Oh my gosh. Sick. Oh man. It's like making me emotional. Just how much this game has to offer. That right there sounds very Persona to me. I don't know what's reminding me of. Maybe Blooming Villain? Something? I don't know. But that right there sounds very Persona. It sounds like the guitar has like an octaver effect. And that octaver I associate a little bit with Persona's music. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about this one a little bit. So, again, if you're unaware, I'm playing this game, which is super rare here on the channel to, actively be playing a game and hearing its music at the same time. But I have not encountered these, right? I'm hearing them before I hear them in the game. So an exciting thing for me is I get to hear that, but also that's coming up soon. I know it's a tiny little bit of foreshadowing. It's a tiny price to pay, but the good thing about once I start playing and once the chat's going and everything, these small details get forgotten. And then when it happens, it's like, oh yeah, sick. So even though I'm anticipating it, when it does happen in game, until it happens, I'm pretty much going to just completely forget it exists. Because even in this own video, I'm going to hear another song right now that's going to replace my brain chemistry, if you understand. So let's talk about this one while the iron's hot, I should say. Because that's what's happening in all these videos, really. I hear a song, you hear my immediate reaction. I hate that word. I'm not a fan of the word reaction anymore. But the literal term of reaction, the what's happening, chemical reaction, mind reaction, face reaction, like the result of something. It's really unique, to my knowledge, I don't think I've heard an electric guitar sound like that in Shin Megami Tensei at all. Not just 5 at all. There's stuff that sounds like, there's been electric guitars, not a whole lot, but nothing of like this single note lead thing. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Devil May Cry, where a lot of the soundtrack is like super heavy and cool and all that, but it's like there's not a lot of electric guitar in it. It's like distorted keyboards and really, different uses of electronic signals that are distorted until Bury the Light or something like that, or Devil Trigger. Kind of fitting names for this game. So that's what seems like it's going on here, and that's why I can appreciate it even more. Now, as a guitar player for over 2 decades, I'm not oblivious to the fact that the guitar is such an important part of a lot of songs. And whether you agree or not, it defines genres, or it has a huge input in defining genres. It's not the defining genre thing, but you know what I mean? Like, you can determine a lot of genres by what kind of guitar is being played, what style, blah, 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 blah. That's a whole other rabbit hole in itself. But even as a player, I can appreciate it when it's removed, because it's the safe option. It's like a safety net to have a guitar in some capacity. But to have it so seldom and then make its appearance, it blossoms. And I can be like, oh my gosh, whether I'm a guitar player or not, I can appreciate that for what it is, the art of just the notes playing and this melodic, almost sad structure, which is totally not the norm in SMT5. you know, there's a lot. There's a lot of different timings, and you know, there's just a whole lot of feelings in SMT. A lot of it is demonic and weird and kind of creepy, and you know what I mean. Like there's some dissonance there, but this is just like a straight up less is more emotional thing. So I can't even imagine where that plays. I would have to assume most of the music that gets sent to me from SMT is boss music, but the area music is just as great. You're hearing area music right now in the background, but I feel like most of the reaction stuff and the stuff with like heavy emphasis on percussion is a boss fight. I just assume everything is a boss fight if it has drums in it, if I'm being honest. A lot of the area themes don't have drums or are very like ambient. Anyways, that was great. That was super, super cool. And that actually excites me more because I'm going to play the base route after Vengeance. And if this is in base route, then that's super exciting because I'm most likely going to hear it twice at least. So that was really cool. And yeah, I just felt like Persona. That little da-da-da. Awesome. And now we must wipe our memory and redo it for another song here. Let's go. Next one. I do not know if these songs are related whatsoever. Sounds like LA traffic. This soundtrack. This soundtrack, dude. Let's make a melody randomly and let's see what we can do with it. The game. Dude. It's like playing with your mind. You know that there's a melody underneath it. And it's like messed up on purpose. That's so bizarre. Also these like choices of leads. Like what is that? You know what I mean? Like there's so many unique sounding instruments. Like, I'm pretty sure that's just a signal of some random crap and then just distorted to make like a and then now that's a melody. That's what's so cool about the soundtrack. Music Lover's Paradise. I really wonder what the inspiration was from this soundtrack, if at all. Because every game has a musical direction. Whether from the main writer or if it's all left to the composer, everything's inspired from something. I really wonder what was used for this. It could very well be its own complete original idea, and it's very possible, but it's also extremely rare to just muster this up. It's very possible, but I'm trying to imagine a scenario where like you come up with this. It's this kind of sound is like something where the director's like, okay, make the soundtrack sound like blah 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 movie or this blah 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 game, and then just make your own thing after that. You know, there's a basis, a foundation. I don't even know what this foundation would be. This is like something you just have to kind of trust the process. Because hearing stuff on its own sounds really weird. But together, it sounds so dope. Oh my gosh. If these are both boss themes, then damn. What kind of boss are they? You know what I mean? You know, one thing I've noticed about SMT, despite me praising the soundtrack like crazy, I will say this, and I don't think it's a bad take. I don't know. Well, it's subjective, but it's despite it being like such an incredible soundtrack and 100% like context based, as we saw with myself. You know, like I used to hate a song and then I play the game. I'm like, oh, it's pretty damn sick. But I think SMT. I don't know about other Atlas games, but SMT has a... if you disagree with me, please let me know. Or give me some examples that I've experienced so far. But I feel like the boss music isn't really, like, directly... like, showcases the boss you're fighting. Because all the songs are so abstract. You know what I mean? That it's... like... There's only one song that comes to mind that feels like, and I'm not saying they weren't made for that boss, but what I'm saying is, like, I could imagine some songs, you know, used around with different bosses, and it'll still work because it's so cool. You know, there's very few songs that make me think, oh, that was definitely made for that boss, except for one, which is Alcoholic Acid Rush, which is a whole other thing, but I really do believe that song was 100% made for that. I don't know that, but it feels like it, and the way it's structured, revolving the context, I think it really is. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's just, I feel like the songs are more, could work with any boss, which is, in a way, kind of a plus too, depending on how you look at it. You know, the universal appeal of like these boss tracks are so cool that they can just be kind of used interchangeably. So, I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 on that. Sometimes I feel like they are, but, you know, sometimes there's bosses that reuse themes. But I will say, a little bit contradictory to what I just said, is that these last two songs feel a little bit more specific. That's kind of why I brought it up, because these two feel specific, but also they feel story related. There's a lot of bosses in SMT, and a lot of them are side quests or do this, do that. But then there's like the real significant like story beats. And this sounds like one of those like significant story beats. So either way, it depends how you look at it. It's not a bad thing. I just I've been hearing a lot of music lately from this game, so it's just I just, you know, and playing it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this could totally work with this and this and this, and that's pretty telling of the soundtrack, how universally appealing it is. So anyways, cool. Both of these were fantastic. A big emphasis on beat structure. A little bit of a hip-hop influence on both of these. But just crazy, weird sounds that are so cool. And I'm hopefully, when I finish this playthrough, I can find like maybe some... I don't know anything about the composers, really. Like, they're still new to me. There's like three of them, or two or three of them. And maybe I can find like some like interview or some context or something, but for now I'm gonna just hold off on that. Anyways, there's still more SMT to listen to and play. I'm still playing it right here at Jesse's VODs. So thank you to the requesters and to everyone you see on screen. Couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Peace.